My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. We break down full fight cards every single week. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And this is brought to you by Earn You. Earn You is the world's first sports and esports prediction game, allowing you to earn crypto risk-free. Check it out now at earnu.com. And ODDSJAM. ODDSJAM has the fastest real-time data integrations to spot discrepancies between different sportsbooks and helping users place risk-free bets. Check them out at oddsjam.com. Next up at UFC 273, we have the main event of the evening. We have Alexander Volkanovski taking on Sung Jung, or the Korean Zombie. Alexander Volkanovski is 23-1. He's 5-0 in his last 5, coming off a dominant win over Brian Ortega. Korean Zombie is 17-6 overall. He's 3-2 in his last 5, and he's coming off a win over Dan Ige about 8 months ago. And this is an interesting fight because they were going to do Volkanovski versus Max Holloway 12, and then Max Holloway pulled out. So Korean Zombie jumped in on short notice, but then the fight got delayed entirely. So it's not short notice anymore, and Korean Zombie basically has a full camp to fight Volkanovski in a title shot that he only earned because it was short notice. So just interesting dynamic of how he ended up here. Volkanovski, he's been the champ in the UFC for about 2.5 years. We've only seen him fight 2 people. So I don't really love this fight. I do wish this was Henry Cejudo, but I'm just glad it's not Max Holloway again. I'm legit over that fight. Alexander is a very good striker who has legit speed with his hands and his feet. He uses kicks really well, and he uses his combinations to set up very clean takedowns. He's a short guy, but he doesn't really struggle finding the head or getting to the hips with the takedowns. He's very strong, but he doesn't possess knockout power. The Korean Zombie has been in the UFC since 2011, but he did have to take a few years off to serve in the military, and that time off definitely slowed down his momentum. But he has worked his way into a title shot here regardless of the circumstances. And that win over Dan Ige was really nice. Zombie's got great striking, very good grappling, and a high fight IQ. He's beaten some of the best guys on the planet like Frankie Edgar and Dustin Poirier before. Frankie Edgar, while Frankie was still good, Dustin Poirier has, I don't think Dustin Poirier's faded yet. So he's beat both of them. And he's also lost to some of the higher level guys too, like Brian Ortega and Jose Aldo. But I do think this is a pretty straightforward win for Volkanovski. I think his work ethic, his pace, his striking volume, his takedowns, I think all of that's going to be too much for Zombie. I think he cruises to a decision. With that being said, Zombie is super tough. He has legit power. Prior to the Ige fight, his last 3 wins were knockouts. They were over Edgar, Moicano, and Bermudez. So Zombie's going to be dangerous, but I just don't think he's dangerous enough. And I think Volkanovski, pretty easy pick. And a parlay piece. I know the odds are crazy, but he was minus 800 just 2 days ago. So the odds are going back down. So it's interesting to see what's happening with the odds there. But Jacob Lines, what are your thoughts?
Jacob Hansen, thank you. I filed the paperwork this morning.
Okay.
Honestly, minus 800 is crazy for a guy that, technically some people think he lost to Max twice. And against Brian Ortega, he had a fight out of 2 positions to where he nearly lost that fight. So I understand that he's the champ and he's been the champ and he's a very, very good fighter. But he could be like 0-3 in his last 3 fights. I hate to play that game, but obviously he should win this fight. He is a better fighter than Korean Zombie pretty much everywhere. Obviously, Korean Zombie's probably got the more power if it comes down to that. But he's the better fighter, but minus 800 seems kind of just absolutely insane for me. I actually might throw a flyer on Korean Zombie because I think he knows that it's kind of KO or bust, right? I think he comes in, this is my opportunity to be the champ. I'm not going to get another opportunity. And this is probably the best case scenario for Korean Zombie against a guy that really isn't probably going to knock him out. A guy that can wrestle but doesn't really rely on the rest, doesn't really force the wrestling. He's a gamer, right? Alex Volkanovski, he likes to put on a show. He knows that people know that wrestling is boring to some people. I'm not going to say Korean Zombie's going to win the fight. Volkanovski is the better fighter, but if you're Korean Zombie, you come in, you bite down on the mouthpiece, and you throw bombs, and you just see what happens, and that's the way you're going to win this title. I don't think it's going to happen. My pick is going to be Volkanovski. I think everyone's pick should be Volkanovski. But minus 800 seems a little bit crazy for a guy that doesn't really finish people against a guy that's got some real power in his hands.
last time we saw these odds, Amanda Nunes got submitted in the second round. Granted, she gassed, or was that third round? I don't remember. Granted, she gassed, and Volkanovski's never going to gas. My point is, okay. My point is, these are fist fights. So nobody, I don't care how many people brag about their fake records in our comment section, nobody gets these all right. These are fist fights. Anything can happen. And honestly, if one of the big three, if Chimaev, Volkanovski, or Petr Yan lose, there's going to be a lot of broke people. I also parlayed the three of them together. I got minus 150.
My big parlay is was the big three with I put Mickey Gall. So I have the big three: Volkanovski, Chimaev, the other one,
Jan,
and then Mickey Gall.
That's not bad because I think those are pretty three locks, if you will, and then I
got plus. It's basically plus. Yeah, it's plus. I got plus 300 by stacking up all. So it's basically you think all the favorites going to win. Fine, boom, boom, boom. Now you have Mickey Gall basically at plus 300, which I think is incredible odds for him
because he's a plus 160 underdog. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's love the strategy and check out our betting breakdown for that. So I think we're all aligned here. Korean Zombie will be live. He's a dangerous guy. He's a talented guy. But everything we've seen from Alexander Volkanovski, the accuracy, the speed, the volume, the pressure, the cardio, it's probably just going to be too much, and he will get this done. I think he's worth $9,500, which is why we spent so much time talking about some of these live underdogs in DraftKings. Jacob agrees. It's probably more. What a giant number for Monkey Knife Fight, but it probably is more. Korean Zombie is tough. And Volkanovski has such volume.
He literally is called the zombie for a reason.
Yeah.
That dude could get hit 900 times. It'd be fun.
Yeah. I mean, so it's probably more. And if anybody has trouble getting to their number, it's probably Korean Zombie, honestly. But that's probably more. Check that out at wewantpicks.com/MKF. It's Monkey Knife Fight. It's daily fantasy. It's fun. It's easy. It's an app on your phone. Give it a try. All you need to do is look at the strike lines and say more or less, and then you win some money. And speaking of money, you want free money, literally free. We pay people, a lot of people, every single day, $50 just for going to wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of the 5 betting partners. Make a deposit. Let us know after you do. I send you $50. It's all right there on the website. Super easy. Just make sure you use our links, and you'll get yourself $50.